Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Arthur Arlino, former educator and founder of NewWay Technologies. Did you know that the word parents appears in the enacted Every Student Succeed Act, known as ESSA, 378 times? In this video, you'll see how to engage parents and direct students to online resources based on itemized assessment results so that every child in America can reach their full potential. When parents are engaged in their child's education, it is well known that can lead to improved student outcomes. And today, with all the free open educational resources on the web, students can direct their own learning, guided by teachers and their parents. The reports currently produced by state assessment companies sent home by schools to parents are inadequate. They don't show the specific skills the child has mastered or not. Overall scale scores and performance levels are not enough to engage parents effectively. And expectations by subject area categories don't help much either. The problem is that schools have spent millions of dollars on separate products and systems that are not connected. And states have spent billions of dollars on data warehouses with very little value returned to local schools. The solution? NewWay built an academic grid infrastructure for schools to connect all their systems and to capture state and local assessments into an all-in-one open platform, controlled and managed by the local school. The sample in this video was created to demonstrate the potential of the WISE data-driven instructional platform. Parents and students get very specific, individualized information that can be used to find resources on the web to help them succeed. However, parents and students could easily become overwhelmed by web searches, like Google, with thousands and millions of responses. The WISE platform offers unique, customized gateways to links to online resources for a specific skill that needs to be improved or enhanced so the child can reach its full potential. Before going live, let me explain that the data used in this sample app was from the 2015-16 school year, where local assessments using STAR Renaissance Learning product were done in the fall of 2015 and the spring of 2016, and where state assessments were given in April 2016 with itemized results back before the end of the school year in June. The WISE platform was designed so that students over the summer could use itemized assessment results to enhance their strengths and to improve their weaknesses. The sample app uses real data, but the student name was changed. 6th grade math and English language arts are presented in the application. It's a mobile app that can run on any device that parents and students already have with a Wi-Fi connection. Parents and students can only access their data with a unique identification code. After a parent logs in with the secure unique identification code, this is the screen that they'll see. And there are a number of different panels. The first panel here is the overall assessment results, where here she has a scale score of 738 and a performance level of 3. This particular school has a local assessment that they give in the fall and the spring called STAR from Renaissance Learning, where she had a grade level equivalent of 6.1 in the fall and had significant improvement in the spring to 7.9. Then we have English Language Arts, where her scale score is 722 with a performance level of 2. Her grade level equivalent in the fall is 8.8, but she dropped to 6.5 in the spring. Significant decline in that area. Over here we have the domains. These domains are subject area categories. This is equations and expressions, geometry, numbering systems, and ratios and percents. And you can see for each domain the percent that got correct or incorrect. You can see very easily here that geometry is her weakest area. If we go over here to the right, we have our skills. Because domains and subject areas, categories, are not enough to tell the parent or the student the skills that they are weak in or need to master. So here are the skills that were assessed on that assessment. As you hover over each skill, a description will appear, and based upon the number of questions asked, the percent correct or incorrect. If it's completely blue, the student got all the questions answered correctly. If it's black, they didn't answer any of the questions correctly. And then a percent of blue or black would then tell you the percent they got correct or incorrect. If you then click on a subject area, you'll see a cluster description as well as the standard description. Let me explain a cluster. These are the three different skills in the A group that were assessed, and then they're put together in a cluster for an overall percent, and the same thing would be true for the B group. The important thing here is that once we click in the content on that standard, we'll then be able to get links to online educational resources that parents and students can use. The first thing is to be able to see the curriculum that's being taught at the school. In this particular case, in this example, we're taking that parent or student to the curriculum that's online for New Jersey, for the state of New Jersey, and that's actually what's being offered and used for grade 6 math. If we then go here, we have lessons, questions, and answers. Lessons from resources like Khan Academy and Learn Zillion, as well as questions and answers that were released on the state assessment. For this particular standard, and that's important to note, it's based upon the standard that was selected, then the parent or student is directed to that resource on the web that can help them to master that skill. And then here, in case of questions, here is a question that was released on that assessment, and then here is the answer. So parents and students can go back, look at the questions and the answers, and figure out what they did right or wrong. For English Language Arts, if we click on that, these different panels will populate. Once again, this is her overall scale score and performance level. And then the three subject area categories are language standards, informational text, and reading literature. And you can see just by looking at this that her weakest area is reading literature. And that's fairly obvious over here too when you look at the skills, where the majority of the black area is in reading literature. Once again, if you hover over any of these areas, or skills I should say, you will see a description as well as the percent correct or incorrect. If you then click on a particular standard, the content area will populate, and then you'll be given links to different resources that are available, from curricula to lessons and to release questions and answers. The curricula in this case, we took you to Engage New York, which has the Common Core curriculum and standards. And by the way, that's often used by many schools outside of the state of New York. But once again, this is the curriculum that's being taught at that local school. If you then want to find lessons for that particular standard, that's key. If a parent had to Google that or search for it, they would get thousands and millions of responses, and they would get frustrated very easily. We want to take them to a resource based upon that skill or standard that can help them to master that concept. And this is Learn Zillion. And then for questions that were released, this happens to be a question. The student reads the text and then answers the question. So a parent could work with their child in reading that text and then look at the question that needs to be answered. And then the answer is actually provided in that text. That concludes the live demo for the sample app we created for middle grades. We also created an app for lower grades if you'd like to see that. The same data that was used to help students and parents over the summer can also be used throughout the entire school year as lessons are taught and prepared. In fact, the WISE data-driven instructional platform was designed so that parents and students could get help, classroom teachers, building principals, as well as district administrators. The platform is set up so that you can register and try it for free. As I mentioned, there is an app for middle grades as well as for lower grades. Just go to the appropriate website, register as a student or parent, and you'll be able to run the application yourself. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.